Hey Oakwood, I'm Ethan Lippincott. Today is January 20th and this is your Lumberjack Recap. This week in advisory, counselors will visit with all advisories and 12th grade students will have a meeting in the auditorium on Thursday. Reminders for seniors. Senior Scoop for senior students only takes place every Thursday during advisory to discuss everything regarding graduation, college, and more. Seniors should also make sure your cap and gown have been bought and your senior composite photo has been taken with Easterling Studios, as well as turning in a baby picture with Intimus buyers for senior slideshow. The What Made Maddie Run Book Club and Bold are hosting a color run for mental health awareness on Sunday, April 26th at 2 p.m. at Old River Sports Complex. It's a 1-mile run around the complex. It is strongly encouraged to wear white. The fee is $10 and all proceeds go to Active Minds Charity. Purchase tickets through the QR code signs posted around the hallways by April 19th. Email Ms. Baker with any questions. The Dayton Dragons professional baseball organization is holding national anthem auditions. Submit your application by February 16th and go to daytondragons.com/national anthem to apply. The Wright Library is hosting a page-to-screen movie marathon on January 24th from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Come watch Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone at 10 o'clock, Wicked at 12:30, and The Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes at 3 o'clock. Feel free to come and go throughout the day and bring your own movie snacks to enjoy with the Hot Cocoa Bar. Turnabout takes place on January 31st from 7:30 to 10:30 p.m. in the West Gym. Current sophomores, juniors, and seniors can purchase tickets through hometown ticketing using your student ID number. Any student bringing a non-OHS student can come pick up, complete, and turn in their guest ticket form in the main high school office. Guest forms for Turnabout are due this Thursday, January 22nd. You must make sure this is turned in ahead of time or you will not be able to purchase guest tickets next week. No forms will be accepted during the in-person ticket sales. In-person ticket sales will start on Tuesday, January 27th and go through Thursday, January 29th at lunch under the clock. For a special video today, Millie Dean goes over national news on the newest episode of The Chop.
Hey Oakwood, I'm Millie Dean, here with your national news needs. Here's The Chop. We've got lots of news to cover today, so let's get started. To kick us off, the U.S. invaded Venezuela in early January 2026, capturing President Nicolas Maduro and his wife, with the Trump administration citing narco-terrorism conspiracy, cocaine importation conspiracy, possession of machine guns and destructive devices, and national security as reasons. But critics also point to controlling oil resources and weakening China as key motives. Additionally, regarding the president, Donald Trump suggests that the U.S. needs to, in his words, own Greenland to prevent Russia and China from doing so. The president stated that the U.S. will do it, quote, one way or another. The White House recently stated that the administration was considering purchasing the semi-autonomous territory of fellow NATO member Denmark, but that it would not rule out the option of annexing it by force. Last weekend, people took to the streets in cities across the country to protest the Trump administration's immigration enforcement tactics following the death of Renee Good in Minneapolis, a 37-year-old woman who was shot and killed by a U.S. ICE officer last week after an altercation. The ICE officer is citing self-defense. At least 1,000 events across the U.S. were planned for Saturday and Sunday. In other news, a protest in Iran has claimed a large number of lives as Iran entered the third week of a national anti-government protest amid the communications blackout imposed by authorities. For our last bit of hard news, the U.S. Department of Agriculture and Health and Human Services released updated federal dietary guidelines on January 7, 2026. These guidelines emphasize prioritizing whole foods, increasing protein intake, consuming full-fat dairy, and strictly limiting high-processed foods and added sugars. In other news, a group of Buddhist monks from Texas are walking 2,300 miles to Washington, D.C. The Walk for Peace aims to spread a message of compassion, unity, mindfulness, embodying peace through their meditative journey and connecting with communities all along the way. Despite facing challenges like an accident where one monk lost a leg but chose to continue. They are walking from Fort Worth, Texas through multiple states, sharing their message of inner peace and plan to conclude their pilgrimage in February 2026 at the U.S. Capitol. For our last bit of news today, Are You Dead is a new viral Chinese safety app for young people living alone, sending emergency alerts if users don't check in daily. Thanks for joining us on this episode of The Chop. See you next time, Oakwood.
Finally, we would like to give a special shout out to our sponsor, Ashley's Pastry Shop, who has been baking deliciousness right here in Oakwood for 43 years. Lunchtime is a favorite for new and old customers to try it for themselves. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram and TikTok at OHSX Media for your school news needs, and to go to our website at ohsxmedia.org to check out our new videos. That's all for this week, Oakwood, and as always, have a tremendous day.